All right, welcome to our Simple Healthy Life podcast, where our goal is to have real, insightful conversations on topics that we find interesting. Today's topics we find interesting. I'm not sure we're going to be able to offer a ton of insight
No.
to this one. But if you do find this topic interesting, let us know because I think I know I really have been thinking about it a while and would like to have a reason to talk about it more with my friend Ryan here. Today we want to talk about aliens. I was laid out there.
Just get it right
We'll
out there.
start right there. Boom. If you want to turn it off now, I would turn it off now. If you don't think they exist, then I think you're bad at math. But maybe everybody has their own opinion, right? On aliens and whether they are real or whether they've been here before or what they exist. And we were kind of talking. What brought this whole thing up was we were talking about AI. And you had mentioned something about maybe they come and tell us that we're doing it wrong and we should stop.
Right. Wouldn't that be remarkable? Like a intelligent species coming down and just kind of intervening like we're ants and be like, what are you guys doing with this AI thing? Like, this is bad, right? And they come down like, all right, this is just take this away, and then when you do that, we're gonna leave. Let's pop out. Oh, while you're at it, why are you eating that?
Well, it's funny because when you mention that, it's actually there's a lot of lore or history, depending upon what you want to look at, of alien crafts or unidentified crafts around around nuclear bases. Right. So we finally developed something that we could blow ourselves up with, and there's a lot of lore around them kind of coming in and saying like, "Hey, what's going on here?" Yeah, I did a little bit of research and ChatGPT and kind of looking through just kind of what types of stuff are happening, and all over the world around nuclear bases there are accounts of alien craft. And now I think about it this way: we study everything on the planet, right? And how do we do that? We don't just jump in their environment and we're not like, all right, you move over there and move over there. Well, sometimes we do that, but other times we just kind of sit back and watch. We stay on the outside, right? We've seen these like chimpanzee, monkey studies that people have lived in the outskirts of the jungle for years and years and years. And I think there might be something to that happening already.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think it would make sense, right? I mean, if there was a species intelligent enough to navigate through space time and found us and knew that we were here, I'm sure they wouldn't just come down and cause havoc. Why? What's the point? The same reason why like most reasonable humans don't go and like smash up anthills just because they hate them. I mean, there's some people like that, but they're not going to go and just like cause havoc, but they're probably very curious, like, yeah, what are they doing down there? Oh, that doesn't seem like a good idea. And I kind of want to see what happens. Like, I want to get a better sense of our history by watching how these guys develop. So we got to kind of keep them alive. It's the same reason why we got like zoos and stuff.
What's funny too is like when I think about aliens, maybe I'm the only one, but like, it's always this like one-off. Like we're like, oh, well, this one alien craft that has 10 people or 10 aliens in it or 100, right? We never think of like this fleet of alien crafts that come, right? It's like, okay, we know they're alive. We're sending everything we got. It's never like that for me. I was thinking about this recently and you kind of joked at it. Like let's say that these super intelligent, beings come down and they're very hostile, right? They're just like, all right, we're going to introduce ourselves. We've been watching you guys for a long time. We noticed the nuclear thing. We've checked out the AI thing. We think you're kind of at the precipice of fucking messing it up, right? Like, but imagine they come down, they sit down at the White House, and they're like, "We have questions. We've been watching you guys a long time, and it seems like you don't like each other, or you do, or what is exactly going on here? Where these people seem to be arguing with these people, and nobody else really cares." But the second question is like, and you. What exactly is it that you eat? Because it looks like most people eat fruits and vegetables and meat, but then these other people seem to be putting all this other stuff into your food. What happens there?
Oh yeah, you brought that up the other day, and I was dying laughing. I had stole that joke from
No,
it,
it's funny as hell.
but it is so funny. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't that be the irony of that? Like, And you know, who knows? Maybe we'd be at this point relatively soon where they have to step in because they see like, well, yeah, AI, hey, probably not the best. Although I'm just gonna put it on the record, AI is very good. I say that because there's a good theory out there that I don't know. It's not really a theory. I forget what it's called. Like kind of like Occam's razor, where if you speak bad about AI, then eventually AI can get to a point and recognize, hey, this person spoke bad about us. I don't know if we really need him to continue our little thing. So always speak good to AI and about AI. Um,
Well, along those lines, the Simple Healthy Life podcast is a friend to AI, all associated with, including God behind the scenes, who I'm sure AI knows who that is, so we don't even have to identify her. But
exactly.
yes, we are all in favor of AI,
We're
unless
friends.
the aliens come down and shut you up.
Uh,
But nothing we can do about that, okay?
it's remarkable, but yeah, you'd think they'd intervene at some point. I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe we're just part of many little zoos that they have and on at their disposal. Let me warp to Earth too. Oh yeah, they'd kill themselves. All right, we'll warp to planet Z5 4.
Well, I mean, the timing on this is interesting. I have been one that said before I pass on from this planet, I want to know three things. One, where do you go when you fall asleep? Two, are aliens real and here? And three, what is Elon Musk? Those are the three things I've been curious about for a very long time.
Can aliens have autism?
They come down, they shake hands at the White House, and they're like, "How long you been here, bro?
Hey, Elon.
How'd you? We knew you were here. You taking over yet? Kind of.
You see him in the White House yesterday. He's just sitting there with this kid named X or Z, and everyone's super formal, and he's sitting there, and the kid's screaming, and he's just giving a presser. It's like the wildest thing. It's so bonkers.
Did you see what he just did on X?
No.
He changed his name.
Oh, did he?
Harry Harry Bulz. This dude is a half a trillionaire. He's basically responsible for like us essentially getting to Mars someday. Our PayPal system, and now he's auditing our government from the inside out. And he decided to change his name to Harry Bowles.
That's so funny.
I mean,
unbelievable.
That's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Love him or hate him, think he's good or bad, I don't care. But that's ballsy.
Ballsy. Yeah. It's crazy what what money will do to you or allow for you in some ways. And he's not doing anything particularly like wild. I think the average teenage boy would be like, yeah, that's I'll do that too. But he can do it in any setting just because of money, and that's a fascinating perspective.
That is fascinating. So, what about Roswell? Right? That's like it's like almost like it's my belief that something did happen there, and then instead of completely hiding it, they just like clowned it. And like, ha 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 ha, it's just a joke clown thing.
Yeah.
Let's look at the circus, everybody. It's like Men in Black where they joke and they're like, oh, that's why they had the 1967 World Fair there, because there's like literally like a big UFO statue, and they just like made it into a statue, and they're like, ah,
Yeah.
It's like, I think that's what happened. I think somehow they're like, Roswell, yeah, that's yeah, definitely, yeah, aliens, and they're like,
Yeah.
screwed. Oh no.
Well, they seem to be, and this is kind of like what goes into the thought of like maybe they just come down soon, because they seem to be priming us in some way. Like, oh, hey, what happens if we drop these weird drones and we call them aliens, and then we don't say anything about it for a week? So what do people do? Do they actually care? Is there upheaval? They during COVID too, they had released all these, like the Pentagon had released these videos, and they're like, I don't know, we don't know what these are. They're like random UFOs, and then they circled for like a couple days, and then they lost traction. Like no one really seemed to care. I think it would be a good idea for them to prime the citizens and be like, hey, they're coming down soon. Like they might actually make a legit kind of like statement here. Just so you know.
Right. Well, there's the Tic Tac videos, right, that they couldn't seem to keep from everybody, where this thing went from like 50,000 feet down to 10 feet and then back up, like over water. And, stuff that we don't have the ability to do. I mean, these are, I think what's happening, and again, I can't say this. I can only say this a million times. Like, I'm a believer. I think that this stuff is happening. I think that what's eventually going to happen is we're going to get enough connection around the world where, it was easy to just not believe back in the 60s when the only thing you knew was whatever the 4 channels of television you got, right? It was
Mhm.
even easier to not believe before TV and radio, where all you knew was your own community. But now you can, at least for now, you can access pretty much whatever you want.
Right.
I think, unfortunately, post now will be almost impossible to access things that to know whether or not they're true,
Mm.
right? And we're already kind of at that point where what is
Right.
true and what is not on the internet and all that stuff. But I think what's going to happen is we're going to hit that sweet spot where there's just so many examples that AI will kind of pull all together for us, where you have to say, like, wow, this person saw this in Kentucky, and this person saw this in Belgium, and this person saw this in China, and they're all the same. Like,
Right.
how is
Right.
that a thing?
I know, yeah. It's so hard to know what is actually true. I mean, this pertains even to like a lot of the topics that we talk about, like health and wellness, and we try to sort through some of the baloney there. Um, but yeah, as time goes on, it does seem to get harder and harder to see to know what is actually real. And I saw something today that was like the progression of AI animations in like 2 years, and it's remarkable. Like the first video has those like very preliminary AI videos where the background's kind of all changing and like wonky and very clearly AI. Cool kind of, but then the newer ones are just like perfect animations. It's so crazy.
Oh, I saw one recently. It was like it was just a girl,
Mhm.
and it was 5 pictures of a girl, but it wasn't like the perfect girl. It wasn't perfect skin and beautiful and like what you would type in as like the perfect girl. It was just a normal girl, and there
Yeah.
was no way to tell that it wasn't AI.
Wow.
I was like, oh, it's here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're already dealing with fake news and all of this stuff, and we're where it's unlikely that we're gonna know what I believe we're gonna go back to a period of time where all you can really trust is what you see with your own eyes.
Right.
And so it's gonna be harder for me. It's an alien believer, right? Unless they come down. So if you're listening, I'm in
Go
Middleborough.
visit. Go visit. Yeah, go
If you
visit
don't
Amazon.
mind.
You see that video of not a video. It's like a picture, and I think a lot of the pictures are like kind of photoshopped a little bit, but as far as I understand, there's some sort of structure on Mars. You see that one?
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah, that
crazy?
came out pretty recently. It was like
Yeah,
perfectly square structure.
yeah, yeah. Something that looks like and for those who don't know, I mean, you could look at like square structure on Mars, something like that. Um, but it's this perfectly square, almost like a foundation looking kind of thing under the surface, like the superficial surface of Mars. Is kind of interesting.
So there's this interesting concept theory, and it's not mine, um, uh, that each star in our universe is actually giving birth to the planets, right? So like giving birth, it really makes you start to think like, oh, this dude's talking crazy talk, right? But like the planets kind of are essentially moving outward away from the star, okay?
Mhm.
And when it gets to a particular, and this is how astronomers look for life in the universe, is they look for something called the Goldilocks zone. So it's how far away approximately the planet is from the star, and they
Mm,
do that essentially because of heat,
mm,
right? So like
yeah.
it has to be. I mean, let's face it. We just did our last thing on hot and cold therapy. Like, if it's over 100 for a long period of time, we're not doing so good, right?
Right.
And if it's under zero for a long period of time, same problem, right? So we're kind of in this 100 degree in a world that has like absolute zero and like you know Kelvin, right? We're like in this thing called a Goldilocks zone, right? And so as these planets move outward away from these stars, they move into the Goldilocks zone and then subsequently out of the Goldilocks zone.
Mm,
And what we believe is that each Goldilocks zone has the ability to have life.
mm.
So Mars is not that far away from us, meaning that it could have had life in not that long ago.
Mm.
And when we talk about not that long ago, I mean, like, we believe some they tell us this stuff when we're young, right? The universe is 7 billion years old, right? Whatever that means. Take that with a grain of sand. So when we say, like, all right, maybe it was just a million years ago, it could have been here. That's really nothing, right? According to our idea of time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they even, I mean, there's been theories too that there's been previous civilizations on Earth that have like just got like been pretty advanced and got wiped out, and who knows how long that has actually happened. You know, they found like, I guess, structures in the Amazon that didn't seem to line up with what their timeline, had originally been. So, have you heard of that one? Did you see that one?
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I like
You're
to
into
follow this a
the
lot. Yeah,
alien, yeah.
I mean, you're like, there's theories that the pyramids, like, what's up with that? If you let's just unbox the pyramids for like 5 minutes. They teach you in the 3rd grade, which I think they do on purpose because you're not smart enough to ask any real questions. That they built 3 pyramids, 3 total, that were all designed for one guy to go die in, to be a tomb.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Then later on, as you get older, they teach you that the average lifespan of supposed guy was about 30 years old.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I guess I never
And
thought about
and were supposedly they were able, so that means that they were able to build these pyramids in, I mean, let's just pretend that he was like, when he was 10, he was in charge and he's like, all right, I need you guys to build me a pyramid.
that. Yeah, I think that
Right?
might be accurate. I think they were pharaohs pretty young. So okay, fair
All
enough.
right, so we'll give him 20 years to build this thing.
Wow.
That's perfectly aligned with over 1 million granite blocks. That is absolutely perfectly aligned square. Just start there. First of all, we can't do that now with our current technology and ability to move blocks.
I grew up in Worcester, and one of the major roads there, 290, was under construction for at least 10 years. They added one lane, and it literally took. It must have been 10 years. It was most of my life up until that point. And you mean to tell me these yeah.
So that this one guy could go die.
Yeah.
They're like, okay. And they're like, oh, but they had slaves. Like, okay.
Yeah.
How
right,
many?
Right.
10 million?
Yeah.
And then what did they do? They I love this one too. Oh, they rolled the stones on the wooden logs that they chopped down. Like, okay, if the stones didn't weigh like 20,000 pounds a piece, that would make sense, but they do. So go back to the drawing board.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, that is. I guess I never thought about the time frame there. That is an interesting concept. Huh.
Oh, then let's go one step further. We're taught to believe that these civilizations, like South America and Egypt and China, all have, by the way, they all have pyramids there, step pyramids or regular pyramids, that they had no contact with each other. So that just means that, like, as a species, when we started to learn how to walk upright, we were like, you know what? I think we should stack some rocks on top. I think we should stack some rocks in the shape of a pyramid.
Wow.
And I think we should do that perfectly.
And you also see like the ley line things too. Like the ley lines are supposed like energetic grids, grid lines for that travel the Earth. I don't actually know how they determine this, but apparently, even if it is like random lines, a lot of these structures tend to fall on the intersections, like the exact intersections of all these lines, these supposed energetic ley lines. Like you could draw a line from Stonehenge to the pyramids and whatever, and they all seem to be like part of this very straight line, which is very interesting.
Right? I mean, I love Ancient Aliens. I wish they would just get someone that didn't look like the dude. Like get someone that looks normal. Like a normal. He's got the hair and he's just like Like, come on, give me somebody that can like I want to learn from, like somebody that's like interesting. Uh,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I struggle with that too.
yeah.
Since we're on the topic of aliens and we're changing now to ancient civilizations, another topic that really kind of grinds my gears: dinosaurs.
Oh God.
All right, I'm just throwing it out there. The stuff they tell you when you're in the third grade, right? How many hundreds of millions of years ago did dinosaurs live on the earth? What they tell you?
Jeez, I don't even I couldn't even tell you what is even the time frame. I don't know, 10 million. Well, humans been around what, like 4 million? Is it 4 million?
Don't
Four
know.
to 4 to 20 million. I think it's 4 million. The universe has been alive for 3.8 billion. So between somewhere it was 3.8 billion and 4 million years ago.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
So so what they gave me was 100 million years ago,
Okay, fair enough.
which is like, yeah, just give them that number. Like, yeah, no, there's giant lizards that roam the earth 100 million years ago. Oh, by the way, we found their bones.
Fair. Yeah.
Okay, so you think that your bones are still going to be around, even in a coffin that's completely like airtight? You think they're not going to degrade over 100 million years?
Well, to be fair, don't they say there's a fossilization process, some sort of process of why it's preserved the way it is?
Sure, I'll go with that. Yes. Yeah, I mean, it has to be. Clearly, I went to the Science Museum the other day. There it was.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect bones.
Yeah, perfectly intact. Or better yet, ready? What sound does a dinosaur make?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Or, I mean, what do you think? They told you, roar, right? How do you know? They were alive 100 million years ago. You have no idea. Maybe they spoke perfect French.
So like out of our tens of listeners, there's gonna be one archaeologist who's like really pissed off.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Why do you think we call it the Jurassic period?
So what do you propose? You propose that they sold us dinosaurs. Big dinosaur. The children's book writers sold us dinosaurs.
Yes. Yes. They're like, we don't know how they built the pyramids 5,000 years ago, but we know all about 100 million years ago. How is this even possible that we bought that stuff as a young person? Like, yeah. And then what do? We tell our kids, yo, my nephew's favorite dinosaur is a Stegosaurus. Like, it's kind of mean, really.
Yeah.
Oh, and it sounds like this. Roar. And they play together. I mean, seriously. It's so silly. Like, we're totally on board with that. No problem. With aliens and energy, we definitely draw the line at energy. There's no such thing as energy.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not. Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, like, yeah, it sounds like so ridiculous, but I think the nice thing about being in today's day and age is that I think people are more and more open minded to like, okay, maybe we weren't sold an actually entirely true history, right? And even just in like relatively recent history, we start to think, did the wars really go that way? Was America really the good guy?
Every single time.
Yeah. Wow, we're so it's like every civilization has their own good guy story, but nonetheless, like all it takes for me is to think, the universe expands infinitely, and then I can't even it's not even possible for the brain to grasp infinite. So therefore, we have a lack of understanding of something that's so well accepted just at that. Like, how do you even conceptualize in an infinitely expanding universe? It makes no sense to begin with.
I couldn't agree more. And one thing you said is like accepted, right?
Mhm.
And I've been really struggling with this concept of it only takes one generation before something is just accepted, right? Like, example, like we're almost one generation into it's just accepted that you have a phone. Just accepted that you're connected to the internet all the time.
Right.
And when I was brought up, there was no such thing as the internet. We're one generation away from like that's just what you are. Like,
Right.
there's no difference, right? And I mean, that's a poor example, but like think about it. If all they had to do was teach these people that had no connectivity with each other that dinosaurs were real. And then your great grandmother was telling you, we got you a Stegosaurus, and then you, and then you got a T Rex when you were a kid, and you're like, bring it on. Like, pterodactyl was my favorite one. They used to fly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? And throw a couple Jurassic Parks in there, and before you know it, like, that's it. Like, no doubt, dinosaurs were real.
That's pretty funny. I guess I never had anyone overtly question dinosaurs before. Maybe to your point, everyone just accepts dinosaurs, and to your point, 100 million years ago, yeah, that is kind of a long time ago.
It's kind of a long time, and we haven't totally figured out, right? What they ate, what they sounded like,
yeah.
what their bones look like. They're all there. It's all there for you. Just gotta go study.
Just gotta go study.
And I don't know anybody that studies dinosaurs now.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, we already figured it out.
Yeah,
There's no dinosaur studiers.
They've solved that. They've already wrapped that one up.
Paleontologists, they're on to they're on to only 50 million years ago. We've already solved 100 million years ago. We're only going to learn about things that are 50 million years old now.
Oh, that's wild. That is so wild. Yeah.
Are you familiar with this concept of the Anunnaki?
I don't maybe remind me.
It's a fun one for me because it does, of course, I'm a believer. I want to believe this stuff. So essentially what they're saying is that this advanced species from another planet called the Anunnaki came here in search of gold. Okay? As I'm saying this, I'm hearing it, by the way. Right? But we did have something called the gold standard, which we'll get into in 1 second. They came in search of gold. What they found was no people, just Neanderthals at best, / like people like us, but they didn't have higher level thinking. They restructured again, this is just theory. It's not Mike James telling you that this is how the world was. They restructured our DNA in order to build enough of a group of people in order to enslave them to go and get the gold. So they needed this metal, this metal, this gold, in order to help their home planet. So they were like they came here and they essentially created humans.
Sure.
Okay. Now, a couple things. One, if you think about like the way that we kind of were brought up to believe, like our money system, right? Like started off as like a barter system. Like I have some wood and you have some sheep, but maybe we could do this, the sheep for the wood thing, right? But all of a sudden there's this gold, right? This alloy that doesn't do anything for you, right? I mean, maybe now it does because we have created value, but like doesn't feed you, doesn't clothe you, doesn't keep you warm, right? Why is that the system, right? Where did that come from? The second part is why are we so, as a species, why do we have slavery, right? Why is it something where it's like tribalism? We're like, well, our tribe conquered your tribe, so now you do all our work for us, right? Where did that come from? Was that ingrained in us and bred in us? And here's the third one, and this one is my own personal problem. So I'm laying in yoga at the end of yoga. It was a great session. I'm laying there in Shavasana, and I realize the pyramids, it's all the hieroglyphics are not them showing these things come to the planet. They're pictures of them leaving the planet because they gave us this frontal lobe that we have, this ability to understand ourselves, and they realized that eventually, in not too short order, we were going to build AI and destroy ourselves. So they're like, we're out, we're gone. Wow. So that's my Anunnaki, and that's the way I have thought about it.
That's so funny.
Hugo.
Yeah, no, that is interesting. I mean, I love the theories. You know, it's also like an actual like a fact on human evolution, or supposed fact on human evolution, that I always find fascinating is that, you know, we have this like timeline where things kind of make sense. It's like, okay, Neanderthals to this, to that, and it all kind of like lines up. But there is a short period of time there relatively speaking, I couldn't tell you what the amount of time is. Maybe it's 1,000,000 years. Maybe it's 50,000. I don't actually know but all I know it's short in comparison to the larger time scale of humans that we apparently had this like cognitive revolution or evolution. I don't know what they call it technically, but it's a short period of time where they're really unsure as to how we got so intelligent. And there are theories like, well, they developed language and they developed storytelling and all that kind of stuff, which is kind of like the more accepted stuff. But it does seem to be really far out of line. It seems like there was something that happened, and there was, the theories on what's it like, drunk monkey or drugged monkey
Yeah,
or
the stoned ape theory.
stoned ape. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, close enough. Yeah.
Ate enough mushrooms and grew cerebellum.
Yeah,
Like,
right,
okay,
right. Yeah,
I believe you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that kind of stuff is interesting. It does make you think, well, what is really kind of gone on? Um, so no, it's an interesting conversation.
I think all of this stuff. I think all of this stuff you just said perfectly. What is really going on?
Right.
I mean, like it's okay to never pick our head up and say and challenge the status quo. It really is. It's okay. You can live a great life and never try to figure out how many, never think about how big the universe really is or whether or not something that lived 100 million years ago is, accurate, right? Or that's totally fine. But I'm kind of hoping, or where we go when we go to sleep, right? It's okay to never think about that stuff. But when you do, I hope maybe you think about it open-mindedly and not just say, well, my grandmother said that the Stegosaurus had 4, or the Triceratops only had 3 horns. That's why they call it the Triceratops. Just, think about it inquisitively, and if nothing else, maybe it'll be fun.
Right. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good to like to postulate, to ponder, to wonder, right? And I think that's the fun of the conversation is that just kind of wondering, kind of curious about things, and to be curious, I think is always so interesting. In fact, we talked about that with passion. So you kind of need curiosity to at least develop a passion. And this, we're just curious. Well, curious about how the pyramids go.
Well, listen, if you're interested in these topics, and please tell us because I'll do it again, or I'd love to talk about telepathy and the stuff that they're doing now. And that's a different topic because we are now evolved into the understanding that some of this stuff is real, or stuff like that. Drop us a note, like, subscribe, tell us, find a way to get in touch with us. Until next time.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks.